now understand how do we solve MCQs. So multiple choice questions are like a quiz, if you must say. So imagine the situation like your examiner is sitting in front of you on the computer screen, just like Kaun Banega Crorepati. Instead of getting 7 crore, you will get a rank, you will get a good seat. That is the only prize that you're getting out of this exam. Now, practice MCQs in such a way that this becomes second nature. If you say that I'm liking doing MCQs, you are in a good spot. Trust me when I say, because I've given ample exams, I've learned things the hard way, I've missed out on certain opportunities, and of course, that has made me introspect. It's made me a better person, made me stronger. Because every day in surgical oncology, you have to take decisions. Your brain must be analytical. You must take a decision promptly. That's where the surgeon, that's where your role as a surgeon comes in. You should be able to take decisions under stress. You should be able to take decisions in various environments, and that is what they are testing you in the exam. First thing, nobody cracks an exam by doing easy questions wrong. So if you see the pyramid as to how ranks are formed in the examination, no top ranker will ever get a top rank by missing out on the basic questions. First thing, do not mess up the basic questions. So there are questions framed in the exam like must know, should know, and good to know. Okay, must know, you cannot make errors in that. Should know should be second nature to you when you're trying to get a good rank. Okay, the third thing is when you are doing the good to know questions, you may know them, you may not know them. Learn to rule out answers in this exam. This is not a straightforward exam. The examiner will not give you straightforward questions. I'll show you with certain types of example of MCQs how to solve them. Now, the reason why people do badly or make silly mistakes are because they do not have adequate revision. They are confused in the exam when they see the choices. The third thing is they are not trained to give an exam in a controlled environment. So if you have to get, if you want the seat, the only way to get in is through the exam. You cannot get a rank one fine morning without practicing any exam. Okay, so learn to give these exams in a controlled environment. Take that time, stay in a confined room for 3 hours with your computer or with your phone, solve the questions, make a dedicated study pattern, dedicated question solving, and that is going to help you build your skills. So whenever you see a question, close your eyes, think about the question, read the keywords, the answer should come to your mind. Then check the options. If the answer is there, take it. But remember things are, except, not. All of these keywords must not be missed. This is not a straight exam like the NEET SS or like NEET PG where you get a direct question. The questions will be twisted, the wordings will be twisted. You must be very vigilant because the exam at the end of the day is filtering students and they are checking whether you can think in a constrained environment. So you will say that, sir, I've read n number of guidebooks, but still I did not get the rank. Why? That is because the options in the exam are much closer. The examiner will play with the options in the test. Instead, in a guidebook, you will have a couple of questions. The questions may be framed by non-professionals or maybe just a person who wants to write a guidebook. So the answer, if you see over there, you will just tick that answer. Again, another thing is that most guidebooks will have the answer written. So once you think you get the answer, you check the answer. That does not work in the exam. You must know when to commit to that answer. So when you commit to that answer, later on when you evaluate, you will understand whether you've committed right or whether you've committed wrong. Okay, so you must read each question, you must analyze them, you must think about the keywords, see if you've not missed out on anything, and then you try to attempt the question. So the simplest one, close your eyes, see the option, mark it. Okay, if that does not happen, if you overthink a question, you can mess it up. If you underthink a question, you can also mess it up. So if you see a question and if you see certain options which you cannot rule out, try to analytically solve the question. Okay, try to remove a couple of options. So when you try to remove a couple of options, your accuracy of getting that is increasing. So if you can rule out one option, okay, so that is like 1/4, then 33%, then 50%. So that is how your chances of getting that question right increases. So if you actually increase your analytical capabilities, when you take more tests, when you solve MCQs daily, you are going to develop this logic and reasoning at a spinal level. So if you speak to all toppers, if you speak to anybody who's taken the exam, done well, everybody says one thing: sir, I've listened to the lectures in a module, I have solved daily minimum 20 to 50 questions. If you're a very busy man, stick to 50. If you're less busy, try 100 in a day. So every day you train yourself at a spinal level, you understand how to solve the MCQs, your brain understand how to analytically think about these, and that is how you commit to the answers, and that is how you know what to do in the exam.